She had on a white outfit that morning, the one with the small blue blooms I got her on, our honeymoon in Maui. She appeared glowing, thrilled. "We're gonna skip the plane," she giggled, dashing about the home. Except there was no we. At the door, bags set, she pecked my cheek. Fast, unfocused. "Oh, and sweetie, about your pass, there's been a glitch. The booking site screwed up the reservation and the resort. They said no more spots. I'm so sorry. Everything's completely reserved now." Her eyes didn't twitch. Her voice was practiced. The entire family was waiting in Hawaii for her. Sister's wedding, a wedding I paid for. And somehow, I was the only one left out. I just grinned. That occurs. Then I helped her with her bag, waved farewell, and watched her vehicle vanish down the Kohiwa street. That's when I stopped being her husband. We'd met 10 years earlier at a mutual friend's barbecue. She spilled red wine on my shirt and apologized for 20 minutes straight. She was funny, sharp, and made me feel like I was the only one in the room. Back then, I thought she was light. Pure, warm light. I built my life around that glow, bought the house, funded her boutique. Dream, trusted every word. But light can blind you too. It began tiny late-night job sessions, her phone face down, her laughter in another room. Then came the quiet, not mad, not chilly, just emptiness. I noticed her scent shifted, the way she dressed when she went out with the girls, and then one night her phone lit up beside me, a text, short, intimate, from a man named Colby. I didn't confront her. I didn't need to. I just began collecting receipts, hotel confirmations, transfers from our joint account to her business, messages backed up to the cloud she thought I never used. I became quiet, careful, invisible. She thought she'd won something that my silence meant, weakness. But I wasn't angry. I was studying her. The Hawaii incident was the final proof. The public humiliation she didn't even bother to hide, the perfect curtain call for the act she'd been rehearsing for months. So I let the curtain fall. When her flight took off, I called my lawyer. By nightfall, our accounts were separated, her boutique's funds frozen, and the deed to the house, once jointly owned, was locked under my name. She'd signed a few documents weeks before, trusting me as always, believing they were tax forms. They weren't. They were asset transfers. She'd always underestimated how boring she thought I was. Then I disappeared, not out of shame, but precision. I shut off my phone, closed my accounts, and left. I didn't go far, just invisible enough. I sold the business she didn't know I owned and bought a small apartment under a different name. I watched her life unravel from a distance. At first, she lived lavishly. She took Colby to dinners, trips. But money runs faster than love, and when the cards bounced and her boutique lease collapsed, I knew the walls were closing in. She called over and over. I didn't answer. Months passed. She filed for divorce. I didn't contest it. The court granted her nothing but her name. 1 year later, I showed up again, not to her sister's new home, the one in Hawaii. They were hosting an anniversary dinner. She didn't expect to see me there, of course, but I had an invitation from her brother-in-law, who still liked me, who never believed her stories. When she saw me walk through the door, wine glass in hand, her smile froze. "Daniel," she whispered. I just nodded, polite, calm, the way he'd greet a stranger. Throughout dinner I spoke with her. Family, like old times, laughing, reminiscing, careful not to mention anything she'd done. I didn't, have to, they already knew. She'd burned too many bridges trying to rewrite her story. Later that night, as the guests began to leave, she approached me outside on the balcony. "Why are you here?" she hissed. I looked at the ocean, the same one I was supposed to see a year ago. "To say goodbye," I said. Her eyes searched mine, desperate. You ruined me. I finally met her gaze. No, I said quietly. You did that when you decided I was disposable. Then I left. No drama, no raised voice, just the clean silence of a man who'd already buried his past. It's been another year since that night. She moved away, changed her name, tried to rebuild. But every time I check, a new failed business, a new relationship gone wrong, I see the same pattern. She still doesn't understand why her world keeps collapsing. It's simple. When you deceive someone who pays attention, when you cheat someone who remains cool, you don't just lose them. You lose the fantasy that you were ever in charge. I didn't need to wreck her. I just needed to let her exist long enough to do it herself. And that's the charm of quiet. It always completes the tale for you.